Hi everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to look at the entire XAT22 application process, and in addition to that, we'll also be looking at the XLRI admission process because these two are integrated. So when you apply for XAT22 through the same dashboard, you can select the XLRI programs for which you want to apply. To apply for XAT, the first thing that you'd have to do is go to the main website, which is xatonline.in. And once you go to the website, you're going to, on the right hand side, you're going to see an option which says register. You click on it and you get a pop-up wherein you have to enter your name, your email address, mobile number. You can select the password of your choice, which has some conditions that you need to adhere to, the state, and post that the city. And you have to enter that CAPTCHA verification and you click on register. With this, you will create your account. You will get a mail from the XAT authority that your account has been created and you have to do a verification of your email. You click on the link in that mail and then you will get another email which will put your name and your password and your email address and so on. So all the details will get back in the form of another mail. You can use those login credentials then to begin the registration process. So I'll complete this and then see you on the next screen once we are in the dashboard. The XAT application form is divided into multiple parts. So the first part is personal details, parents details, address details, academic details. Then you have work-ex and educational information, followed by program details, uploading of documents, declaration, and the last thing is payment. So right now we are on the first step, which is personal details. The fields that are marked with asterisk are mandatory. And here you can fill all the personal information starting from your title, first name, middle name, and last name. They've added a piece of information here that in case you do not have a last name, you can use a dot there. The email address is mandatory, the first one, and that will be auto-populated anyway, the one that you have used to create your account. The alternate email address is an optional field. Then mobile number will again be auto-populated. Alternate mobile number is an optional thing. Date of birth and age as on 31st August 21 is something that will get calculated. Then you have to put your gender, nationality, marital status, and your blood group. After this, there's a question on if you are a person with disability, followed by Kashmiri migrant status. Do you belong to Kashmiri migrant family, and do you belong to Kashmiri non-migrant family? So you complete this with all the relevant information and then you click on next. So I'll submit this and then I'll show you what is there in parents details. Under parents details, there are quite a lot of things that are required. So you should gather this information before you start filling the form. So under parents details, the first thing is you have to select whose information you are entering. So father, mother, or single parent. I'm going to select father and show you what all things are required. So under father's title, I'll select Mr. and then it creates some more fields that I need to fill, starting with father's name, email address, mobile number, and occupation. Now, once you select occupation, it asks you a few more questions, which is father's designation, organization, annual income, and mother's occupation. So you have to complete all of this information and then you can do next. The same thing will be applicable if you're entering mother's information. So if you were to select, let's say, mother, and select Mrs. And let me select occupation as business. Again, it asks for some details, which is designation, organization, annual income, and the father's occupation in that case. So you can fill this information and then you can click on next. So I'll complete this section and show you what is it that we have under address details. So the address details section is very short. You just have to enter your address line 1, address line 2, and PIN code, because the country, state, district, and city will be auto-populated based on the information that you have already submitted. So just enter your address line 1, 2, and PIN code, and you are ready to move to the next part. Now the next step is very important, which is your academic details. So please read the note which says kindly mention the maximum and obtained marks for all subjects that you have appeared for. So you have to select all the subjects that appear on the mark sheet. Starting from the 10 details, you have to enter the state from where you have completed your 10th, and you have to enter the city as well. After this, you have to enter the institute name, then board, year of passing, and then marking scheme. So here, if you select percentage as marking scheme, then it asks you for maximum marks, obtained marks, and then the percentage. However, if you select CGPA out of 10, or CGPA out of any other value, whatever is applicable to you, then it just asks you for the obtained percentage or GPA. So if you select, let's say, CGPA out of 10 and you have an 8 pointer, you can enter it there. After this, you have to enter your 10th. After 10th qualification, you have to enter 12th or diploma. So if, let's say, I select diploma, then it will ask me details of the diploma. Instead of this, if I select 12th, then it asks me details of the 12th standard. So the same details are being asked that were there for the 10th standard. So starting from state, city, followed by institute, board, stream. So here there's an additional information which is stream. So you have to select arts, commerce, science, or other. Year of passing and marking scheme has the same thing. So you can select whether it was GPA or percentage and then fill all the details. Once you're done with this, and there's one important thing before you go to the next step, which is including all subjects while calculating CGPA and percentage for 12th standard as well. So make sure that you do the right calculations and enter the information. Once you have filled this, you can click on next, and then we'll go to the next tab. So now we are on the work experience and educational details. So here you have to enter the details of your qualification. Let's say if you have a professional qualification, your bachelor's degree, and then your work experience. So in other qualification details, if you have done or you are currently pursuing CA, CS, ICWA or CFA, then you can enter that information here. So if you select yes, for example, it will show you the 4 options that are there. And let's say, for example, if I am currently pursuing or if I've completed my CA, I can select that and it will ask me the relevant information. So which is your degree completion status, whether it is in progress or completed, followed by the marks, the percentage of marks, month and year of course commencement, and then month and year of course completion. So you can uncheck this if you don't have any of these, and you can select no here. Okay. Moving to the graduation details. So here you have to enter your graduation type, which is single, dual or integrated. So if you have integrated program, for example, you can select that also as an option. So I'm going to select single, and graduation state, you can select a state and then the graduation board. The college is also something that is populated, but you also have others. So just in case you're not able to find the college where you studied, you can always select other as an option. Then the college type, whether it is university or college type, whether it is central, state, deemed, and so on and so forth. So you can select the one that is appropriate, followed by graduation exam pattern, whether it is year-wise or semester-wise. Okay, so let me select year-wise for now, and here it asks you for graduation details. There is a note here which says kindly mention the aggregate percentage of marks obtained till date. So if you are a student who is in the final year and applying, you would not have all the semesters. So whatever semester marks that you have, or whatever trimester marks that you have, year-wise marks that you have to take all those marks and then enter it here. Okay. So let's say, for example, if I select some particular thing, these are all dummy things that I'm filling, and if I say result awaited, it asks me for the marking scheme, whether it is percentage or GPA, and then what you had for 10th, 12th, it is similar to that. So if you have percentage, then you enter marks and obtained marks, and then the obtained percentage. But if it is GPA, you can make the selection, and then it will ask you for the obtained percentage or CGPA. If you have a postgraduate degree, you can select that as well. So if I select yes, it will ask me details of that, but I'm going to select no here for now. Then the work experience part. So in work experience, the first question is whether you have work-ex or not. If you don't have any work-ex full-time after graduation, you can select no. But if you have experience, you should select yes. Now you're supposed to enter your work-ex as on 31st March 22. And they have clearly mentioned that only full-time experience after graduation must be entered, and things like part-time, project, internship, articleship, pre-graduation work-ex should not be entered. It will not be counted as work-ex. This is exactly similar to what you have in the CAT application form as well. Okay. So to enter work experience in months as on 31st March, so you have to enter the name of the employer, the designation, and you have to select the from date. Let's say you started working on a particular date, and till date. So what you have to do is you can go till 31st March. So you select 31st March 22, and then it will auto calculate the duration of service in months. So this will be your current employer, right? Now, if you have worked with multiple employers, you can click on more. So this would be the employer with which you worked prior to your current employment. So let me select, for example, B, and I'm going to give some information there as well. So let's say we work till Feb. So we're just putting some random information. It will again calculate how many months it is, and it will show your total work experience. So depending on how many companies or employees you have worked with, you can enter that information by using the more button. If you want to enter only one information, you can just click on less. So it will put only one single employer. So you complete all the information. This is very crucial part of your application. So make sure that you go through it thoroughly. And only once you're satisfied with all of this, you should go to next. So I'll complete this, click on next, and then we'll go to program details. So now we are on the program details page. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the XLRI application is integrated with the XAT registration form. So I'm going to select yes, that I want to apply to XLRI. And there are 4 options that you get. The first is business management, then HRM, then the EXPGDM program, which was earlier called the GMP program, and then fellow program in management. Please note that you should have a minimum 60 months of work-ex before March 31st, 22 for the EXPGDM program that is there. Because this program was earlier known as the GMP program, and for that you need 5 years of work experience. But I'm going to select business management and HRM for now. Now, once you make the choice between business management and HRM, once you give these 2 preferences, they will also ask you which of these will be your first preference. So if you're somebody who is more keen on PM, you can give that as the first preference. If you're more keen on HRM, you can mention that as the first preference as well. I will also just tick this to show you how it's going to appear. So if you put a tick mark against fellow program in management, which is the PhD program, it shows you that please click here to check the eligibility, because not everybody will be eligible for a PhD program. So you have to first check whether you are eligible and whether you want to apply or not, and then only select that option. Another very important thing is that the moment you select this, the selected program will be taken as preference for both Delhi and Jamshedpur campus. Once you scroll down, you also have to indicate the test city preference. And they have made a note here that if you, the 2 preferences that you give, if you don't get any of those preferences, you can be given a 3rd city which is nearest to you. So the first city preference and the second city preference, you can give these 2. And once you are done with the program selection and the test city preference, you can click on next. The upload document section is not that difficult. It's very simple. You just have to upload your passport size photograph and your signature. For both passport size photo as well as signature, the maximum upload limit is 50 KB only. So you might have to use a picresize.com or something like that to reduce the size of the image. And JPG or JPEG is accepted. So those are the only acceptable formats, and the maximum upload size is 50 KB. After this, you have to also select a proof of identity. So you can select Aadhaar, PAN, voter ID, driving license, or passport. If you select, let's say, one of them, they will ask you for the number and the proof of identity. But here the maximum limit is 1 MB, and PDF is also accepted here. So in addition to the JPEG and JPG, you can also upload PDF or PNG here. Okay, so you complete this, and then we can go to the next part, which is declaration. So there isn't much to do in the declaration part because you can just read and accept it. So you have to read this first, then applicant name and date will get auto-populated. But before you go to continue, have a look at the application that you have done so far. So when you click on preview, it will show you all the details that you have submitted so far. And going through it before you go to continue and the payment part is very, very important. So have a look at the document once by clicking on preview. Go through all the details that you have submitted, and then you can click on continue and move to the last part, which is payment. So now we are on the last part, which is payment. And depending on how many programs you have selected, it will add to the base fee that is there. So the XAT application costs 1800, but we selected 2 programs. We did the PM program and the HRM program. So it is 300 rupees per program. So that is why it has added 600 rupees to my application, and 1800 plus 600, it is showing 2400. Do verify your details before you start making the payment, whether it is a name, email ID, and phone number. And you just have to click on make payment and then follow the on-screen instructions. So once you're done with this, you are done with the entire XAT application. I hope this video has helped and given you an overview of the entire process. If you have any questions, there is a document which we have given in the description. You can go through it, which will give you further details that you might be required, or you can leave a comment and then we'll try and get and answer it as quickly as we can. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.